Hello everybody, my name's Craig Blundell. Welcome, and I'm going to give you a very brief rundown of these two amazing kits I've got here. So come up. I'm very privileged to get to play progressive rock music. So on the past kind of 4 years out on tour, this is kind of the basis of the rig I've been taking out. So the first thing I need to choose, because I play progressive rock, is it is the absolute law to have a gong drum. This is the Mapex aux drum, so it doubles up as a floor tom, as a gong drum as I use it, or as a second bass drum. This is the Cherry Bomb, and I've got it in 8, 10, 12, 16 and 18 with two Design Lab Cherry Bomb snare drums. And these beautiful things, all flown on magnets. I'm sure you've seen lots about these, so I don't really need to talk about them. Essentially, they're very cool, and they're from the future. That's all you kind of really need to know about those. Cymbals-wise, before I get into the whole world of electronics, cymbals-wise, I feel very privileged that I've played Paiste for many, many years, and they support me beautifully all over the world. Once again, progressive rock music. So my biggest crash used to be a 16 when I first set out playing all the drum and bass stuff with Congo Natty. I now go up to a 24-inch crash, which feels like a bit of a wheelie bin when you're playing it, but you soon get used to it. So I'm going round from kind of 20 right the way through to 24-inch crashes. It's amazing how I've been doing the prog rock thing for many, many years now, and I found myself on the Steven Wilson tour starting off with little 7A sticks, kind of like knitting needles, and I was breaking loads, and I was like, what am I doing, and tippy-tappying, and then up to a 5A, and for those that have changed sticks, it feels like hell on earth when you move up a stick gauge. And now I find myself on these Veta fatbacks, so I'm on 3A now, so I've gone up so big in sticks wise. So with bigger sticks comes bigger tone, my head choices change and my cymbal choices change. So everything is a little bit heavier on the Steven Wilson gig. Same when I'm on the Steve Hackett doing the Genesis Revisited tour now. The cymbals are a little bit bigger. Now Paiste, I've been very, very fortunate. They made me quite a few prototypes for my rig, so little China hats and all sorts of crazy weird stuff. The PSTX, which I dearly love, going back to my kind of, when I used to be a lot younger and fitter, wearing a beanie hat, playing all the drum and bass stuff. These things would have been amazing, but they work perfectly within the rig. So I've got a few PSTX cymbals on this setup. I've got 18-inch Swiss medium. I've got these amazing splash stacks. So a 12 and a 10, and a 10 and an 8. On their own, they sound a bit weird, but in context with the music, you get that lovely little white noise undercurrent, which is fantastic. And this is what I've been my association with Roland now over the past kind of 15 years, and more recently R&D. The whole kit, apart from this beast, is triggered. So essentially, what I've got is an RT trigger on all the drums, including the kick drum, and I'm running a TD50 on the rig at the same time. Now, with it, it's different on clinics because you want to show that the power of laying, but on this SD card is pretty much all of Steven Wilson's album. So all the album tracks live, how the process drums they would have been used on the album, I install it into the TD50 and then assign them mainly to kick, snare and the floor tom. So you get that authentic kind of dance feel out the front. And I can change the patches with my feet or wherever I want to choose from. So all my different sets throughout there are stored on TD50. My monitoring, I'm running a Zoom desk, which I love because it's all completely automated. So I change it for different songs and recall scenes. This has been pretty much with me on every single airplane I've ever been with. You guys, I'm sure you know it, SPDSX. Originally started out as the SPDS many, many years ago, and then got facelifted to the SX. I run most of my backing tracks, my click tracks off that, pretty much. So that's my rig. Heads-wise, once again, as the gig has changed, the head choice has changed. I go for a thicker head now, so I'm on Aquarian Force 10s. I started off on high frequencies, like really thin, and then I was putting dents in them with the velocity of playing, and I guess a bit of an adrenaline and getting excited. So breaking heads, and I don't like breaking anything. So we've changed all the gauges of the head, so we're on thicker heads, coated, which I never thought I'd be on, and a triple threat, one of my favourite snare heads. And this little thing, I didn't even get in here, James. Have a look at this. This is a company called the Rim Riser, which, unless you know what it is, can be quite misleading. And it's exactly that. It's essentially a 4 or 5 inch rim that goes onto, attaches on top of your hoop. And what it does, it accentuates your rim click. So if my rim click's there, with a Rim Riser, it just pushes the tone up ever so slightly. And it means your hands are slightly freer on the drum set, so I can get my thumb underneath. And EQs-wise, it's a really lovely bit of kit. What else have we got on here? Simpad, I've got the chromatics, and I've got the ride one underneath to deaden the ride cymbal. These are fantastic, and it's all mounted on a Roland TD50 rack. And if you come down here, I use kick ports when I'm playing live. So we have here the world's smallest kick port, and in there goes a little teeny tiny microphone. No, it doesn't. That is essentially for my XLR. So my bass drums will be inside. XLR goes in there. It's really not. Please don't spam me. And it stops the lead from flapping around on the bass drum and making those horrible aftertouch noises. So yeah, I discovered this recently. One of my engineers I was working with put this through here, and it makes such a huge difference, the live setup. On the Stephen Wilson rig, on the right hand side of the rig, I would normally have a kick drum and another couple more toms. So this little ditty thing here, they made this for me about 3 years ago. It's a Saturn V in Black Oyster Sparkle, but it's a 16 by 16. So it's a little ditty kick. And once again, off the TD50, I'm running the album samples through it. So you can make it as big. I mean, technology is so advanced nowadays. You can make it as big or small as you want it to. I could turn it into a snare drum. I have layers. I have bass notes. When I want to get rid of the bass player, I can put bass notes on there, and you can run little step sequences. It's an amazing bit of kit. A little 8 and a 13, and these are triggered up so you can get the Bonham thing. So I can hear, once again, I'm on a TM6, which I absolutely love, which gives me 6 triggers, or if I use a Y cable, I can get 12 trigger outputs like singles, etc. Kick pedal and cymbals, the world's driest ride. Which is really nice. And once again, I've got Simpad chromatics. That's my phone ringing as well, isn't it? That's really professional, kids. So when you're doing a session, don't put your phone on silent, because it's yeah, you're nodding at me. Yeah, so that's like, I'm so bad. So that's my kind of rig rundown. This is, I guess, a little insight into the kind of Stephen Wilson rig, what I've run over the past 3 years. With Steve Hackett, I'm taking 2 kicks out because it's like one more progressive, so I can have 2 bass drums and a gong drum as well. So I'm joking. I'm absolutely joking. So that's it, and I hope to see you out there on the road very, very soon.